The 10% brain myth. We've all heard it since we were kids. Humans only use 10% of their brain capacity, and if we could just unlock the other 90%, we'd become superhumans. Hollywood movies like Lucy only fueled this fire. You've probably found yourself wishing you could tap into that hidden potential to change your life. But in reality, this all started from a massive misunderstanding in the 1890s. Modern neuroscience and MRI scans have proven that nearly every part of your brain is active almost all the time. Even a simple task like clenching your fist requires way more than 10% of your brain. If 90% of your brain were useless, minor brain damage wouldn't be a big deal. But we know even the smallest injury can be fatal. You're already using your whole brain. The real difference lies in how much you train it. The 7-year chewing gum terror. Think back to that moment in childhood when you accidentally swallowed your gum. You were probably terrified for weeks, thinking a mountain of gum was building up inside your stomach. This lie was invented purely to scare kids out of swallowing it. Science tells us that while the gum base is indeed indigestible, that doesn't mean it gets stuck. Your digestive system treats it like any other roughage, such as a kernel of corn. It's pushed through your system by your intestinal muscles and exits your body within 24 to 48 hours. 7 years? Nope, more like 2 days. You held onto that fear for years for absolutely no reason. Carrots and night vision. Eat your carrots, they'll give you night vision. We've heard this thousands of times. We grew up thinking carrots were like a biological pair of night vision goggles. While carrots do contain vitamin A, beta-carotene, which is good for eye health, they won't give you supervision. This lie was actually British propaganda spread during World War II. The British Royal Air Force, RAF, had developed a new radar technology to shoot down German planes at night. To hide their secret tech, they started a rumor that their pilots ate massive amounts of carrots, giving them incredible night vision. The world bought it hook, line, and sinker, and parents are still using that same propaganda today to get kids to eat their veggies. Bulls in the color red. When we think of Spanish bullfights, we think of that red cape. Most of us believe the color red triggers some primal beast inside the bull. You've probably even felt a little nervous wearing a red shirt near a farm. But here's the cold, hard truth. Bulls are dichromatic, meaning they can't even see the color red. To them, that cape looks like a dull shade of gray or yellow. So why do they charge? They aren't reacting to the color. They're reacting to the constant movement, the agitation of the fabric. If you waved a blue, black, or green cloth the same way, the bull would charge just as fast. The color red was chosen for the human audience, primarily to hide the bull's blood and make the event look more dramatic and valiant. Lightning never strikes the same place twice. Whenever a storm rolled in during our childhood, we were told, "Don't worry. Lightning never strikes the same place twice." We thought that once a spot was hit, it became a safe zone. This is one of nature's most dangerous lies. Lightning couldn't care less about where it struck previously. In fact, lightning prefers spots that are high, pointed, or conductive. The Empire State Building in New York gets hit an average of 20 to 25 times every single year. Once it was even hit 8 times during a single storm. So next time there's a thunderstorm, don't stand outside thinking you're safe just because the ground was hit there yesterday. Lightning has no memory. It's just looking for the quickest path to the ground. Nails and hair growing after death. Horror movies and ghost stories love to tell us that hair and nails keep growing after we die, which is why skeletons are often depicted with long claws. It's a creepy thought that the body is still alive after death, but it's scientifically impossible. Growth requires complex hormonal regulation and glucose, both of which stop the moment the heart stops. What's actually happening is that the skin begins to dehydrate and shrink after death. As the skin retracts, the parts of the nails and hair that were previously under the skin become exposed. It's just an optical illusion. The body isn't growing, it's just drying out. Seeing the Great Wall from space. School textbooks and trivia shows drilled it into our heads. The Great Wall of China is the only man-made structure visible from the moon. We felt a sense of pride that humans built something so massive. But that is a total myth. In 2003, when China's first astronaut Yang Liwei went into orbit, he admitted he couldn't see a thing. According to NASA, the wall is difficult to see even from low Earth orbit because its color and texture blend perfectly with the surrounding hills and soil. It's only a few meters wide. Trying to see it from space is like trying to spot a single human hair from 2 miles away. The 3-second goldfish memory. We love to tease forgetful people by calling them goldfish, believing these poor creatures have a memory that resets every 3 seconds. This is actually a huge injustice to the fish. Research has proven that goldfish can have a memory span of 3 to 5 months. They can be trained to solve mazes and can remember sounds and colors for months. This myth was likely spread so we wouldn't feel guilty about keeping them in tiny glass bowls thinking, "She won't mind." She'll forget it in 3 seconds anyway. Reading in the dark. Turn on the lights or you'll ruin your eyesight. That line is a staple in almost every household. We've been led to believe that reading in low light causes permanent damage, but that's not entirely true. The reality is that reading in dim light makes your eye muscles work harder, leading to what's called eye strain. This can cause temporary fatigue or a mild headache. However, according to ophthalmology, it has no permanent effect on the structure of your eyes or your vision. Once you step into the light, your muscles relax. The real culprits behind glasses are genetics, age, and digital strain from staring at screens for hours. Not a mystery novel, read under the covers. Vitamin C in the cold. The moment someone sneezes, we start lining up the orange juice and vitamin C tablets, thinking it's a permanent cure for the common cold. This myth took off thanks to a claim by Nobel Prize winner Linus Pauling. However, decades of clinical trials have failed to prove that taking vitamin C after you're already sick does anything to cure the cold. While it might slightly boost your immunity if taken regularly before you get sick, using it as a rescue medicine is mostly a psychological comfort. The virus simply has to run its course. Vitamin C isn't a magic eraser. Cracking knuckles and arthritis. Whenever we crack our knuckles, someone inevitably snaps at us. Stop that, you'll get arthritis when you're older. That popping sound makes us feel like we're grinding our bones. But that sound isn't bones hitting each other. It's actually gas bubbles bursting in the synovial fluid between your joints. To debunk this myth, a California doctor named Donald Unger cracked the knuckles on his left hand for 60 years and never touched his right hand. After 6 decades, both his hands were perfectly fine, with 0 signs of arthritis. Science has proven time and again that cracking your knuckles is harmless. It's just a psychological habit that got unfairly blamed for a disease. Pure water and conductivity. We're always taught don't touch a switch with wet hands because water conducts electricity. We accept water as electricity's greatest ally. But there's a twist. In a science lab, if you take pure distilled water, water with absolutely no minerals, it won't conduct electricity at all. That's right, pure water is actually an insulator. So why the shock? Because the water we see in daily life, tap water, rainwater, or sweat, is filled with salts, minerals, and impurities. These dissolved ions are what actually carry the electric current. Technically, the water isn't the culprit. The dirt inside it is. But since pure water doesn't exist in the wild, the old advice is still a lifesaver, even if it's a scientific half-truth. Human sweat and body odor. Whether it's after the gym or a walk in the sun, when the smell hits, we blame sweaty pits. Deodorant ads convince us that sweat is the root of all filth. You'll be surprised to learn that human sweat is actually completely odorless. It has no smell at all. The odor isn't from the sweat, it's from the bacteria living on your skin. When you sweat, these bacteria begin breaking down the proteins and fats in the fluid. That chemical reaction is what creates the pungent scent we mistake for body odor. So next time you smell something funky, don't blame the sweat. Blame the microscopic bacteria having a party on your skin. If you found this video valuable, please subscribe to the channel, hit the like button, and drop a comment below. We'd love to hear from you. Thanks for watching.